Date is January 24th, 2023. The time is 5:31 p.m. This is the Finance Committee meeting, and this meeting is being recorded.
Good evening, folks. I'm Chairman Joseph Dede. Vice Chair Alita will not be in this evening. We also have Karen DeMayo, Paul Connolly. Looks like Robert Horeshek isn't in. Richard Zielinski is, and Dave Methy is on Zoom, I believe. And that's everybody. All right. First up, we have public comment. Anyone in the room have anything like to say for public comment? Please raise your hand, state your name and address for the record. All right, I don't see anybody. Anyone on Zoom for public comment? Please wave. I don't see anything. All right, wonderful, folks. Off we go. So first up, we have the minutes. We're looking for approval of the minutes for 12/13/22. Let's read them real quick. Anyone have any questions?
No.
I need a motion.
Second.
All right, the doctor made the motion. All seconded it. We have that. Elizabeth, you're good?
Yeah.
Okay. So all those in favor, Joe Dede, aye.
Karen DeMayo, aye.
Paul Connolly, aye.
Richard Zielinski, aye. Wonderful.
Dave.
Thank you.
Dave.
David.
Okay, David Methy, aye.
Sharon Alton,
Okay. So next up we have is the fiscal year 2024 budget packets. And this is what we send out. Well, it was already sent out, correct?
Yeah, it was on the email, yes.
No, sent out to the department heads.
Yes.
Yes, yes, and yes, we got an email of it. Thank you. We have changed it up a little bit. We cleaned up some of the back paperwork side of it. We got rid of a few pages. I believe we saved 2 trees. So we're pretty excited about that. If you guys have any questions in regards to the new format.
Oh, it's good.
Do we need to approve it?
Well, we need to decide if you're going to make any changes,
Any more changes?
any more to your line items,
Okay. Oh, our own personal line items.
your own personal line items.
All right, in the back here.
Yeah. Dues. There is 190.
Is there enough in there for clerical part-time in your estimation?
Yeah. I think.
Okay. Okay. Are you comfortable with the capital expenditures?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it comes down to you in the end.
Yeah,
You know what I
right.
mean?
The salaries we do later on.
Yep.
We have capital expenditures.
It's
Yeah, $766.
in salaries when they do capital. Expenditure.
Oh, it's allocated to us. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And then the dues are $96.
190.
No, I'm sorry, 190. I'm at the wrong spot. Conference and travel, $38.93. Well, we had the MMA convention this past week, and you guys were all invited to that. No one went to that one. Yeah, I went. Yeah, we all sent the email and then we talked about it, and no one was interested. Some of the accounting staff went. I went. The selectmen went, and it looks like we're going to have plenty of money in that account. So the selectmen may be grabbing some of that because they're over on their side. I think we're just going to charge them 8% on top of whatever they take. You know, if we have to touch it, there's a fee involved. That's just the way it's going to be. Especially those selectmen guys, if they can't keep within budget, what good are they? Supplies are 190. The total operations is 4273. The total finance committee is 9795. Do you see anything we need adjusted, young lady?
I would maybe increase the supplies a little bit just for the additional cost. You know.
20%, 30%, we were thinking.
I'm thinking, you know, even just going up to like 225, you know, just a little bit.
Okay. I think you're gonna see that across the board
Yeah.
as we move forward.
As we move forward,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I would go up 30%, whatever that number is,
Okay, 30%.
Yeah. because it's gone up 30% across the
Yeah.
board.
So 247.
Yeah, whatever. So,
245. Isn't it?
yeah, that's fine.
245.
Are you guys comfortable with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right. Anything else there you see?
So the dues is fine, that's a 190, and the conference and travel is.
I think
is
that's
okay
fine. I
with-
mean,
yep.
if anyone wants to go next year to that same thing, well, we have to bump it, we're down the road, we'll bump it, but I think that's plenty for us.
Okay, just double checking.
And hopefully next year, guys might think about going, you know, it's still 2 days away and it's in Boston, but if you do, there's a lot there
Mhm,
that you can get out of it. At least go once.
mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
There's a-
I attended the Zoom one.
Oh, did you? Oh, a couple years ago, right? Yeah.
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 No.
Great.
January is a very busy time. to
No,
try and
and,
get
and I,
away.
and folks, I understand
Minus
this.
3.
If it was during my busy time, I'd laugh and move on. Trust me. I have no life in the winter, so I can go to these things.
At this point.
At this point. I hope it doesn't change. All right, so we are all set with that. You're,
Mhm.
well,
Do we need to vote on it?
going to make a motion to approve what we just discussed.
Yeah.
For our budget. Doctor made a motion. Who's gonna second it?
Second.
Paul Conley seconded it. All those in favor, Joe DDI.
Karen Jemai, aye.
Sherry Knowlton, I.
Paul Conley, aye.
Richard, yeah.
David?
David Matthew, aye.
Thank you, David. Okay. And then next up is the submission of the 2022 annual report. This came from Robin Stolak, Administrative Assistance for the Select Board. They would like it back by February 6th. And basically, this goes into our book there. Is that what this is for? I'm surprised they're not asking for a picture of us, but that'll probably come next. And we're missing people, so we can't do the picture tonight anyways. Yeah. And some of us didn't dress our best, so that's fine.
Little Photoshop.
Yeah.
So, real quick, if you go back to my first year as a selectman 9 years ago, same problem. So Art Pinnell is in the picture with my head on it. It can happen. Not saying I was bigger or smaller, but it worked.
Mhm.
All right, so folks, if you look at this, we need to change the dates for sure. And if there's any, well, actually, we should read this. Review department close and retention. Mayor-wise, additionally, we are charged with making physical sound recommendations regarding the things of the events such as the pandemic.
Do we still want to reference the pandemic?
In the first sentence doesn't really make sense. You can submit a budget to the town meeting. How do you submit a budget to a meeting? At the town.
At
meeting.
the town meeting, right? Submit a budget at,
Yeah,
yep, we'll change that. At the town meeting, we are charged with making physical responsible decisions that are in the best interest of the entire town. This includes maintaining a reserve fund or urgent or unforeseen expenditures that may arise. Additionally, we are charged with making physical sound recommendations regarding the physical business of the town to the voters at town meeting. And okay, so this is where we're talking events such as a pandemic.
Yes.
Required us to be. I mean, I guess we could take pandemic out. I mean, it's gone, but it's not gone. I don't think it'll ever be gone. It'll be the flu in 2 more years, right? And then such
That could go back to heart attacks, you know. We haven't had
But there's
anybody
still,
die of heart
there's still
attack.
supply chain issues.
Yeah, what if we just said, changes to the economic environment, or, you know, something alluding to the inflation and such, so.
I was thinking inflation.
Inflation.
Inflationary,
Yeah, it's there.
Right.
So how do you want to say it?
inflationary environment we're in. Effects such as a pandemic and its effects on supply chain, along with the inflationary environment we operate in, have required us to be diligent.
Okay.
Okay, events such as the pandemic and its effects on the supply chain, along with the inflationary environment we are operating in, have required us to be diligent and creative in achieving our budgetary goals.
You can always play the tape back.
Yeah, yep.
She said it nice and slow that time.
Yeah.
Thank you, and thank you, thank you, thank you. We do, we truly do. Anything else you see? Oh. You good with that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, now, yeah, we'll make a motion to approve as amended.
Second,
Second, all those in favor, Joe DDI.
Karen DeMayo,
Sherry Knowlton, I.
all family, aye. Good to see you.
David Matthew.
Thank you, David. Okay. Okay, new business. I'll go first. It shouldn't. Okay, it's coming up later. That's weird. All right, new business. We attended the MMA this weekend, like we talked about. We, it was a great event. Learned a lot, but I always do. Pretty much all I got, other than our clerk, treasurer, collector, and clerk, Mr. Steinhardt, reminded me that there's some openings over there, and they went out for a few studies to figure out how we're going to change that whole facility up. So they're probably going to be short a few dollars, and they will be coming in front of us eventually for a reserve fund transfer. So we just want to be aware of that. Nothing tonight, just it's coming. And I've been volunteering the last few days in the clerk's office. So there's definitely.
Downstairs, right?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
downstairs. You come on in, I'll say hi. We don't talk in that office, but I do say hi. So there's issues down there. They are shorthanded.
Oh, okay.
And the thought process moving forward is to change that up a little bit as we move forward. All three responsibilities fell on one person forever. And we're at the point now where that's probably going to have to get broken up a little bit.
Yeah, it's hard because that one person is, you know,
There's a lot of pressure.
car
for one person.
accident, operation, you never know. And
You
then
just
all of a sudden
Yep.
it's gone.
Yep.
And you don't have any backups.
And that's what
Which
we basically
doesn't-
lost. What's really happening is other towns are seeing what great job we do with some of our employees. And between our insurance and a few other things, they're very easy to pluck out of here. You know, you have a little bit of money in front of them and a better insurance plan, they're gone.
Mhm.
You know, and they're 10 years here, 15 years here vested, and we're losing them. So that's a whole nother
Big
topic that'll be
insurance
coming
change,
up in a few months, and we'll have a whole beautiful discussion about that as we move
though.
forward.
Insurance is basically bad everywhere you go.
It is.
It's
Yep.
all you're paying up front.
Yep.
And if you don't have a health savings account, it sucks to be you,
Hmm.
basically.
I'm self-employed. I fully understand how
Well,
insurance
it's even
works.
worse. My father was too.
Now, insurance within a town, there isn't like a consortium that you all band together to try to get better insurance rates. You know, because you're talking about
And
insurance.
I believe there is, it's where we're losing people is, it's just the percentages. I believe this
okay,
town is
okay.
50-50. I believe Westfield's 80-20. I believe Agawam is 75-25. And, you
Okay,
know,
so it's the same,
companies
it's
are-
the same
it's-
insurance to get better rates, but then
It's-
it's how you divvy it up.
it's how you divvy it up.
Another paycheck.
Okay.
Yeah, they come out of their paycheck, which,
Yeah.
you know, a
And it's
single,
hard to say
a
that
single
even
person's
if-
probably asked for the family plan. We learned Westfield, the family plan from Southwick to Westfield's about $10,000 difference.
That's
And
huge.
that's huge.
Because insurance
huge.
is so bad.
Yeah.
That's huge.
So-
If the
Such a big
employee
number.
is
Yeah,
carrying
they
the
have to.
Yeah.
instead of
that
a
walk.
spouse, yeah.
Yeah. So as we move on, and all this is probably coming forward this year, so We're gonna have a very,
And is it all of our, is it including teachers have that same split too?
yep, so it's a huge production and we'll move in, as we move on, we'll
Yeah.
dive into that as a group
Mhm.
with the town, not
Mhm.
just the finance committee.
Right.
So,
It
but that's where
obviously
that's all
needs to be
coming from.
done because it's.
Yep.
It's hitting us then.
It's hitting us very hard, actually. And we'll get there when we get there. So that's all I have for new business. Does anyone else have any new business?
Just a
Hello, how are
comment.
you?
Yeah, just a comment. We did get updated handbooks for the finance committee members.
Oh, we did.
So, yes, we have a copy of it.
One?
So, well, this is my question is, you know, if you could just email it, whether you want it electronically or print out about 160 pages.
Oh, electronic. Don't kill the trees.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Young man, how are you?
Good.
Come on in.
Evening.
Good evening. Robert has joined the meeting. You can just document one time. So Robert, we went over minutes, we went over our budget, our annual budget, which isn't much. And we also went over the town report for next year, which goes into the little booklet at our town meeting, not a big thing. And now we're under new business right now. We talked about the MMA conference we just went to.
Yeah, what was that?
I enjoy it,
That's good.
but I ask questions,
Sure.
a lot of questions.
Get satisfactory answers.
What?
Yeah, I don't know
Do
about
I ever get satisfactory answers?
that.
You didn't bring us back ink pens?
I brought back certain things, but they went to certain people already. Did you need a stress ball, sir?
No.
Okay, I'm just checking. Kind of looked like you, so we went out of shop, but anyways. So that's pretty much where we're at. That was under new business. And now we're going to old business, and it says Joe Judy will provide the stabilization fund details. David, did you get those in the email? David?
Yep, sorry. Yes, I did, Joe, thanks. I'm
Okay,
reading
so
them
we
now.
only could go back so far as you can see in that email. It only went back so far that Laura could do some research on. And it does show the two times that I was aware of where we did pull money out. One was for Powder Mill Road, which was the sewer, the redesign of a sewer on Powder Mill Road for about $350,000, which I do recall. And unfortunately, the following year, when the design was ready to go and actually put sewers in, it was voted down by the townspeople. And the understanding was the year before, they didn't realize they were voting to have it designed. But they did pass it. And unfortunately, it did fail when it came time to actually implement that. And then we went in for some, it looks like some equipment for 150,000 and 157,000. And those are the two times we hit it. And that's pretty much all I have, David. I don't know when it was actually started and how those monies actually came about.
Okay, so it is, it's real money and it's in, is it invested? Or is it like liquid?
In here it says what you can put it in.
Yeah,
It's invested.
it is invested, but every time that we've had to grab money, we've never had a problem, David. So I'm not quite sure how we pull it out personally, but it does come out as needed.
Do you know if
No.
other towns have a similar fund, or is this kind of unique to Southwick?
Yes, no, a lot of them have it. What I worry about, David, is I'm just, you know, I'm 57. I kind of look back and chuckle and try to figure out when was the town so good that it had those funds to just put away? You know, because at one point we
How
had,
did we do
we
that?
were flowing in money and said, oh, let's put 100 grand in, let's put 100 grand in. And they did do that years ago. Now we barely get by and we, you know, and I know it's still there. We haven't had to touch it much, but I don't see us ever putting money in.
Contributing, yeah.
So
So it's truly a rainy day fund, right?
it
It's
really
for-
is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it really is. And if you know, our town historian now is probably Mr. Fox. So you could probably reach out to Russ since he's one of the older ones here. And maybe he'd have some insight when he was a young man, because he was very involved all the way through with the town, even as a young guy. So he may have some more insight into when it really started. All right.
Very good. Thank you.
But there is some good reading here. I'm sure if we Google a lot of this chapter stuff, it will come up. And there's probably, you know, more depth to it if you want to look into that. Anyone else have questions about it? All right, wonderful. And now we have a reserve fund transfer, and I believe we are off by a few dollars on what we're looking for. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So we want to change that first?
Yep. To amend the agenda to be $2,400 instead of $2,392 from the agenda.
Okay. So let's change that to $2,400. Do we need a motion to do that?
Yes,
Would you
we
like?
do.
I need a motion to change the agenda. Motion was made and seconded. You have that? Thank you. All those in favor, Joe DDI.
Karen Demay, aye.
Sherry Knowlton, I.
Robert Rocco. Paul Conley, aye.
David Matthew, aye.
Thank you, David. I'm so happy remembering you this time.
New Year.
Yeah, I get nervous every time. I keep on putting a picture of him right here and I never do it. Excuse me.
All right, Joe, I wouldn't hold it against you.
No, I know. All right. So, sir, how are you this evening? Wonderful. So for the request for transfer from the reserve fund is for lake management. And it's for buoys and moorings. The original budget was 2,400. Yeah, okay, that's all that. Replace damaged, destroyed buoys. 28 put out annually. FY21 budget was 2,000 and reduced to 0. FY22 budget was 1,800. Buoy prices went up 35%. Over 50% over FY19. Unanimous vote by LMC members at 1/12/23 meeting for this request. Sir, can you tell us any more about it?
Yes.
This is Dick Brunels. He's our LMC. He's our town engineer. He's the go-to guy when needed. He's a little rough around the edges, but at the end of the day, he is a team player.
We go through, unfortunately, good 4 buoys. Good. That's probably a bad choice of words, but 4 buoys a year out of our 28 usually get taken out, destroyed, or damaged beyond repair. You can't have them where they're going to sink, and unfortunately, they get hit by boats, and so we have to replace 4 per year. And this year we actually have to replace more, but we lost money. We didn't have money in FY20. Where was that? FY21 was
Right.
reduced to 0.
Yep.
We lost a year, and then we tried playing catch up now. And meanwhile, the price of buoys where we normally get them went up actually 50% in that time frame.
Yeah.
And in fact, in this last year, from when I finally got to order buoys, it went up there. That same company, their prices went up about 30% of that 50%. So
Wow.
That's why we went hunting for another source who makes the same buoys. They need to be the Coast Guard approved, which is what these all are. These 1428 buoys are Coast Guard approved. And so this other company is the one we want to go get the remaining 4 that we need to open up in the spring, populate. We have 28 buoys.
Okay, so
on the Congo line.
how many new ones have you already purchased with?
4.
You've purchased 4
Purchased
and
4.
and you
We
want
need
money?
8. We need to buy 4 more to replace the
Okay.
ones that are. You can see them back there. The remains of them back by what used to be the old animal shelter area.
Yep. Can't miss it.
Carcasses are there.
Does Suffield pay for some too?
No, they don't.
So all on us.
Follow us. The lake is mass.
It's technically us.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
We own it.
And the buoys were set, the locations were dictated by the the Coast Guard, came in and told us how to buoy off the, sandbars and the entrances to the 2 tunnels and so on, what ones need to be where and what position they had to be in. So we follow that. We actually have a map that we follow that was given to us by the Coast Guard.
Wonderful. Any other questions? All right, I'd entertain a motion.
Second.
All those in favor, Joe DDI.
Karen Demay, aye.
Sherry Knowlton, I.
Robert Rocco, aye. Paul Conley, aye.
David Matthew, aye.
Thank you, David. Fine. I'm getting better. Okay. Do that. Thank you, sir.
All set.
Have a great night. Thanks for coming out. All right.
Good night.
Thanks.
That's all I have. Any other old business? Anything I'm missing? Did you do some homework? I heard you were snooping around.
Yeah,
How'd you do?
oh, God.
The short version.
I'm glad you asked. Okay, so I met with the fire chief.
Yep.
Tuesday. And they are they've spent 136% of their overtime budget on
Already, huh?
we're 6 months in and yeah.
So they'll be coming in front of us.
Well, probably not till spring.
Okay.
There's enough in other accounts that
Yep.
we might be able to. But it's just,
Why have we spent so much in overtime?
well, personnel, when you have, it's just like if you're over to, the PD, you have to cover shift. And
Haven't they had
I mean,
people out?
training, it just gets phenomenally expensive.
It's a vicious cycle.
Yeah,
Now that
I
we're-
was
yeah,
curious what happened, why isn't it at regular full-time and not versus overtime?
Right.
Do we not have enough
Yes,
fire to
You-
cover all the shifts so that
Yeah.
we have to
I
pay
think
the
we have
existing
some
officers
going-
overtime?
We have some, growing pains where they're adding people. We have a new chief that's getting orientated into the job. There's a learning curve there.
and we're
You've
losing
got two
people.
people.
And we're-
You got the old chief and the new chief and they're training each
Okay,
other, so
and,
it's extra.
Yeah,
sometimes they can
EMTs or
pick up people that are trained coming in, which saves us from sending them
Yeah.
to the academy and that type of stuff. So there's a saving, but. Okay, and so we're over on that one.
Yep.
Supplies are insane.
Mhm.
Medical
It's terrible.
supplies. This is the most absolutely ridiculous, but they have stuff they have to abide by, like. You know what a suction unit is? You've been in like a hospital, they got the little plastic cups for the suction. Well, those actually have an expiration date on them, believe it.
Yes.
or not. Okay, they were $12 a piece last year, they're 36 right now. Okay, another one is, you take the gurney for the ambulance. When I was on the fire department years ago, we paid $1,200 for a gurney. Boom, you threw it in the ambulance, no problem. You know what they cost now? $80,000.
Yeah.
What, for a gurney?
$80,000. Yes.
Are they
because-
late?
But they're electric now. They can pick up fat
Everything-
guys. Things have
Right.
changed.
So here's the whole deal, okay? Here's the whole deal, okay? Years ago, you went on an ambulance call, get a 400-pound, 500-pound patient. Okay, you call for 6 people to pick the gurney up, put it in the ambulance. Somebody throws their back up. We own them, okay? They came out with the electric ones. Now they have them where the thing comes out of the ambulance, lowers the gurney down. Everything is all kind of automated. And you have to remember that there's external, you get a heart patient, they have an automatic thumper that goes on to all this. Everything is up, it's 80 grand.
Wow.
For the gurney, that's why our new ambulances cost $350,000.
If they come with that equipment.
You sit there and you just, it is what it is.
But there are some EMTs too. I've known some that they have like terrible carpal tunnel
Yeah,
because the
it's-
wrists
so
aren't,
it's-
if you can't keep it.
If you have
heavy.
one person,
and it really
25 or
hurts.
26 years old, that destroys their back, picking somebody up and we own them for the rest of their life,
Mhm.
you can buy a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
everything is just astronomically expensive. Turnout gear. When I was on the fire department, we never washed our turnout gear. We went in a fire, I had it for years, never did nothing. Now it all has to be, because they have to meet the standard. It's gotta be washed. It's gotta be replayed. No, turnout gear is $1,000 a set. It's just, it's a big elephant. It isn't gonna go away. We almost need 2 of us to kind of monitor this rather than one
On that committee,
on that committee.
I'll gladly join you.
Just to.
Yeah.
It's because it's
Put me down with them.
exponentially getting.
No, it is. There's a process there.
Every year, and I
Yeah.
mean, they're sitting there and the poor fire chief, spends more time dealing with all these new regs and stuff rather than just actual fire type service, you know, it's just getting insanely expensive. But we're heading down that path, we can't get off of it.
Nope, we committed.
You know, the paramedic level service is phenomenally more expensive. And it is what it is, you know, it's, if you're laying in the street, who do you want to come get you?
But I know we had a lot of new paramedics, EMTs that we had to train and send out 2 people until they were properly trained.
Right.
Are we still in that situation too?
I don't think that'll ever end because as much as we
Because
train
there's so much
someone, they
turnover.
end up
All right.
turning over because they get a better deal somewhere else with their insurance and whatnot.
Okay.
And
We will
we're
get
right
that
back to that whole
conversation.
process.
Which is
Got it.
again
Yep.
costing us twofold.
Yep, it is.
Because we trained them
So as
once
long
and
as
they
we're on
leave,
that
gotta train
subject,
again.
all right,
Yep, what else?
so now that we have full-time people over there, we need the bunk rooms there.
That's too small, yes.
Okay, so thank God, back years ago, that we had the foresight to spend the $2 million, which at the time everybody thought we were crazy, but being that we have the footprint is there to rearrange the inside of that station. And Dave Sutton has been working with the chief because you need bunk rooms for males, females, locker rooms for males, females, and you have to buy the bedding
And so on.
you know,
Absolutely.
It's so we're looking at somewhere down the line, there's like a $250,000 expense to renovate the upstairs part of the fire station, redirect. You'll have to take a tour up there to see what's there and how they want to do it. But we can do it within the footprint of the building. It's
Yep.
there. We don't have to add on to it.
And are they looking at for next year's budget? Are they looking to come in a little
Well,
earlier?
yeah, it could possibly be. It's, a future type of a thing.
Okay,
The other thing is, it doesn't sound like important, but like the overhead doors, they get a call, they leave, okay? Well, you would think that the doors would be automatic, but they aren't, okay? Fire truck drives out, he's trying to get somewhere, well, either you've got to stop and someone's got to run back and push the button and jump in, or they leave and the door stays open. Well, in the wintertime, that isn't a very feasible
No.
type of a thing. And there's thousands of dollars worth of equipment in there that needs to be, secured.
Yeah.
And with the new, dispatch center being in Westfield, there's several ways to monitor it. You can put them on a timer where after 5 minutes, the door closes automatically. But somebody, as soon as the fire truck leaves, somebody could run in there and do, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's like another $36,000 type of
door
thing
openers.
that they're looking at to make sure that the station's locked
They
up.
can add to it.
Okay.
They don't have to replace the door. We can add to it.
Type of thing.
Yeah.
There's a few spots they can reduce costs, but minor equipment, radio, travel and conference, but you're only talking $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a clip versus a lot of stuff. You just can't reduce it. The medical supplies, they've all got an expiration date on them. They have to have by state law, they have to have X amount of medical supplies because of the paramedic level service, and they expire. Well, you might have to have, 50 or something. You might need them next week, or you might not need them. They expire. When they expire, they got to go because the state comes in and inspects it and they catch it. You know what I'm saying? So it's
a vicious cycle.
You're just fighting a vicious cycle.
Okay.
So, but yeah.
Anything else?
That's
it in a nutshell.
That was enough for me for one day.
Okay.
I walked out of there off. So
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
But yeah, two of us would
Yeah.
be good. Yeah, just
I've had some experience over there. So.
Yeah. And
Glad to help.
like I say, and you have a new chief, you got a new deputy, and it takes a
Takes
while.
time. Absolutely.
So yeah, so you got to be with them, and
Mhm.
let's get through it, and it is what it is.
Not a problem.
Okay.
All right. Anyone else have anything?
Mm-mm.
You good? Right. I would entertain a motion. Did we cover everything? Are you in the green zone? You are. All right, then I'll take a motion to get out of here.
I'll second the motion.
All right. All those in favor, Joe DDI.
Here's my eye.
Sherry Knowlton.
Paul Conley, aye.
David Mathiai.
Thank you, folks. Have a great evening, and I will
Thank you.
email you our next date.
Okay.
Appreciate it all.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, sir.